Well, it was the Friday's session pullback which led to the index posting losses. So about 1/3% for the Nifty and the Sensex, but predominantly because of what happened in Friday's session, which was a very, very weak session of trade. However, Nifty Bank did reasonably okay, and I'll take you to the gainers list to tell you, show you how the banks, mid cap, small cap, PSU, private, all came back, and the broader end too didn't have a particularly terrible week. Now let's take a look at what some of the gainers and the losers did. As I said, banks all the way. So Axis, yes, a couple of others, and the mid-sized PSU banks, all of them came up very, very well in the session. It was also accompanied by gains to stocks like Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finance, and a sea of others. But there are a few points of bother. Firstly, TCS and Tata Sons selling that stake really led to the sentiment worsening in the stock. It was not just the price at which it was done, frankly, but I think it stayed beyond that, which is why TCS corrected about 7% amongst the top losers. Coal India had a big gash. Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL, that entire OMC bucket didn't have a great week either. So these were amongst the top losers. But banks, as I said, did very well. If you saw the private banks earlier, the PSU banks, Canara Bank, IDBI Bank, a clutch of other mid-sized names, Central Bank, Indian Bank, that whole bucket did extremely well in this week gone by. NBCC, the chairman and managing director, got a clean chit in a probe, and that's why that stock ended up about 10% for the week. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala checks into JP Associates. The disclosures came out Thursday, but maybe the buying happened during the week and people got a whiff of it, or otherwise the stock did about 50%. That's a really, really smart move. And PSUs by and large had a fairly decent outing. A lot of PSU IPOs this week, maybe that, maybe something else, but MMTC, ITDC, and a clutch of other names had a really, really good week. What didn't do well, and a sore spot, there were many losers, but amongst the stabler names, Phoenix Mills was a good name, but corrected about 13% in this week. So it was a forgetful week for Phoenix Mills individually.